Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is the end of the work week, and it feels very much like fall outside. Definitely looking a little wet out there, as well as kind of cloudy. We had some rain roll through overnight, and so everything's still kind of a little wet. We have some big changes headed your way that we've been talking about all week long. So I'm going to go into what you can expect for today and then those big headlines. I'm sure you've heard already. We have our first big blast of winter cold air coming in this weekend, and we're going to be below normal. And not just that, but we're also expecting some accumulating snow by the end of the weekend as well. So we've been talking about this all week long. And if you didn't catch us on the morning news this morning, I'll have the latest to get you up to speed with what you can expect going into the next 3 days. All right. So this morning, everything's still kind of just a little quiet outside. Still a little wet. We're expecting those light rain showers to taper off, and then we'll eventually see a few scattered snow showers form across the northern areas. Big blast of cold air is expected still. We'll really notice that tomorrow as we dip down well below normal. And I still have a TV6 first alert weather day that I have issued for Sunday morning. I've extended it through Monday morning. That's for the potential for accumulating lake effect snow throughout that stretch. So it's that time of year. At least you know what, it'll start to get us in the mood of what's to come going into the cold months and the cold season and winter. So let's take a look outside right now. Still kind of cloudy across the region. We still have some wet conditions on surfaces out there. Still some spotty rain in the far east end of the UP. Yeah, but overall, not a bad morning. It is quiet outside. Most areas are in the 40s. We're expecting highs to happen in the morning. Here's that disturbance that's tracking through the region. If you're traveling downstate, we do have a big swath of rain that's still exiting the central lower and the southeastern areas of the lower peninsula between Lansing, Jackson, over into Ann Arbor and Detroit. That's moving on out. And then it's just kind of some spotty to scattered rain that develops behind this front as lake effect rain showers. So, not much more for widespread rain anymore today, but still want to have kind of that on and off sprinkle and kind of damp feel outside. Here's the timeline of that moving on out. This is right around midday. So the highs happening in the first half of the day in the mid and upper 40s for most of our central and east. But by midday, you can see that we're down into the 30s in the west and the northwest. And so we start to see some of those lake effect rain showers mix in with some snowflakes as well. And then those temperatures continue to decrease this afternoon. So by 4 o'clock, we're looking at some 30s across the west and north central. So if you're going to be outside and you notice that shift in the air, that's why. So also just, plan accordingly. You might need a little bit more of a heavier jacket for the afternoon if you're going to be outside in the elements. We have those big games happening later on this evening and tomorrow as well. If you're traveling for those games, I think overall conditions will be fine. You can expect kind of some slick, wet surfaces out there for the evening commutes, but nothing major. So those snow showers kind of taper off, and there might still be some spotty snow tomorrow morning. So for today, that potential for accumulations will be minimal, less than an inch. You can see there, not super impactful. This is a little light snow that'll just kind of collect on more of those grassy surfaces. So that TV6 First Alert Weather Day, I did issue a TV6 First Alert Weather Day yesterday because we're going to have our first accumulating snow of the season for portions of the UP. And we're still expecting that. So we're continuing with this TV6 First Alert Weather Day for Sunday, extending into Monday. Here's what you need to know about it. It's mainly across the northern UP and the north and northwest wind belts. It's due to, again, I mentioned our first accumulating lake effect snow of the season. And, with the first ones, usually we all kind of have to get back in the swing of everything. We have to get back in the swing of driving in some snow and, all of that comes with that and that changing of the season. So just really wanted to highlight Sunday and Monday for that as we start to get into this new routine, right? We can expect slippery and snow covered roads on Sunday into Monday morning for that morning commute on Monday. Just be mindful of that as you get going for work or you're taking kids to the bus stop or to school. There also might be a little bit of blowing snow. But for an easier visual depiction, this is the area that I've highlighted for that first slower weather day. And it's mainly those northern areas, and it's due to that wind direction. And a shift in the wind direction can mean a shift in the axis of the snow as well. So we're a couple of days out from the completion of this developing. So there will be some adjustments between today and tomorrow as more model data comes in and adjusts with the evolution of this. So you'll want to check back in, but this is where we're standing right now. Few spotty snow showers for tomorrow near Lake Superior and tomorrow evening, nothing major. This is Sunday morning as that lake effect snow starts to ramp up in the west through the Keweenaw. We could have a little bit more moderate intensities in the high elevations of Gogebic as well as Ontonagon counties, the Porcupine Mountains in the morning hours. That lake effect snow is expected to kind of expand across the north central for Sunday afternoon and evening. Check that out. Even continuing into Monday morning across the north and the north central. So let me backtrack this just a hair for Sunday evening. So here's 4 o'clock, okay? And then here we go for about 7 o'clock. And we see our intensities increasing in portions of Baraga, Marquette, as well as Alger counties right there. So again, it really will depend on the wind shift and where that's shifting on where we're going to see the bulk of the snow fall and accumulate. There's still room for adjustments and changes to this. But this is kind of where we're standing. Still want to make sure that you're just prepared for some accumulations, especially in the northern areas. Okay, snowfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches. There is anywhere from 40 to about 60% probability of at least 3 inches of snow, and the areas highlighted here. There's a good probability of at least 6 inches of snow within the core of those lake effect wind belt snow bands that occur within portions of Gogebic, Ontonagon, the high elevations of western Marquette County, Baraga County, eastern Marquette County, right on that county line of Marquette and Alger County. So again, it really will be dependent on how that wind shifts and adjusts on Sunday, extending into Monday, where the access of the heavy lake effect snow bands will be setting up. This is how it's trending right now. So you want to make sure you check back in for those changes. But regardless, though, the impacts are still going to be the same. Slippery, snow-covered roads across a good chunk of the north and north central and the west end of the UP. So you're still just going to want to make sure you're factoring in, the impacts that come with that first kind of season snowfall. Or at least it'll be a pretty one to kind of enjoy from inside of your house and kind of gets you in the feel for the season, right? Maybe a great one to, do some sort of indoor projects, maybe a movie marathon or something like that. At any rate, again, TV6 for solar weather day for Sunday morning, extending into Monday morning. That is the latest. And next week still looks relatively active with a couple of disturbances still bringing in some chances for some snow showers here and there. And temperatures are still expected to remain below the normal for this time of year into next week. We're supposed to be at 42, just so you are aware. And the trend for our highs on Saturday through next week for most of the week will be in the lower to mid 30s. So anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees below the normal. I think Wednesday probably will be the mildest day as we'll flirt near 40, upper 30s and a couple of low 40s. And so right now I have the potential of a rain and a snow mix on Wednesday. So there you go. And that's what's going on. That's your update. I hope you guys have a really great weekend and